Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and today I am talking to Sherith Young, and she is from the City Planning Department, and we're talking census. We will all be getting that card in the mail, and it is so important to fill it out. Tell us about some of the questions that we'll see that will be on it.
So the questionnaire will be, I believe it's 9 questions, and it's basically just going to ask some information about who is living in your household on April 1st. So number of people, ages, and just basic facts about who is living there.
So once we get that in the mail and we fill it out, we put it back in the mailbox and
Well, actually this year, for the first time ever, there are 3 ways that you can communicate your census results. I think the easiest for most people will be online. So this will be the first year that you can send results by online website. Great. So that's one way. You can do it by phone, and then you can do it by mail, as so many people are used to.
Why are these statistics so important for our community?
So a lot of reasons, but this is the official population count for the city, and it's used in so many different ways. Very importantly, it's used to help allocate federal funding. So a lot of the money that the city will receive for roads, money the school system will receive for breakfast and lunch programs, different things, it's all tabulated based on this population count. So it's really important that the city have a complete and accurate count to help determine that funding in the future. It's also used from a planning perspective for businesses, industries, a variety of different groups will use the information to help make future plans for their organization.
That's great, and I'm sure obviously since you're with the department, you really see it firsthand, like just how important it is to know how many people are living in each community, and putting that together for us is really important.
It is very important.
So don't forget, those cards will be arriving, and you'll have 3 different ways. That makes it easy to just jump online and answer it, and then you can, recycle the paper that was sent in the mail.
Yeah, and just to know that data is very safe. So there's a lot of work and effort that goes into keeping that information safe, so people don't need to worry about that.
And when do the results need to be back?
So people will begin getting cards as early as March 12th, so that's just about a week away, and they will have I believe it's into May, to submit census data. The official census day is April 1st, but the sooner the better. It helps out if you take it early, and then we'll have the official information by the end of the year.
That's
what the count is.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Look for those cards. They'll be coming any day, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Jennifer Gazowich with me today from Over the Edge. This is really exciting, and it's just one of my favorite programs in the city.
Yes.
First, tell us what it is.
Over the Edge is an event for the YWCA, and we're teaming up also with Speedway Children's Charities. So this is a huge fundraiser. It's very fun and unique, and we are recruiting people to go over the edge of the Bristol Motor Speedway Tower.
Sure, have you ever wanted to do that?
Yes.
Be a little bit scary, but I know it's been so successful.
It has. This is our 3rd year doing it.
Wow.
So it's a very unique fundraiser to help out so many local children and families in our area.
That's great. So how do we get involved?
We have our website. It's otetricities.com. People can go ahead and register to Edge, and once they reach $1,500 in funds, through fundraising, crowd raising, social media, any way you can, get your friends and family to help you raise funds for us. And then once you reach that goal, you can go over the edge.
That's amazing. Now, when is the big date for the Over the Edge?
The big day is Saturday, October 24th. So we have a ton of time to fundraise. Yes.
And how many people get to go over the edge?
The first 76 people to raise their funds will go over.
Okay, so you can get online, register, and then start fundraising.
Yes.
And then
It's
once you
easy.
hit it, it is easy.
Yes.
And once you hit it, boom, you're the next one to get to go over the edge. Now, is there any training before October on how to do this?
There's not, but we do get, not before the event, but at the event, you will have a training on how to put your ropes on and get all the gear on and how to use
Rappel down.
the device to rappel down.
And are there any limitations like age requirements or weight requirements?
There is a weight requirement. It's between 100 and 300 pounds, but there's no age. We've had children go over who were 12 years old last year.
Really?
Yes, and they had a
Brave
great time.
children.
Yes, and they did a great job.
That's great. Oh, well, I just love it. And then, of course, the funds stay locally.
Yes.
And it's such a nice way to raise money and really fun and something very different for a fundraiser. Now, am I missing anything? Anything you want to tell?
We are having some recruiting events coming up shortly. One is on Wednesday, the 25th at Blackbird Bakery from 3 to 5, and then Saturday, 11 to 1, March 28th at Bloom.
Okay, great. So definitely check this out. You will not regret it, especially if you're a thrill seeker. Or maybe if you just want to have a bucket list, something to add to the bucket list and know that it's for a good cause.
It is.
So thank you so much,
Thank you
Jennifer,
for having me.
being with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Jeremy Stout with me today talking about the Tree Keepers Workshop. The name makes me want to sign up for it. Tell us about this.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. We do this event every year. This is a cooperative effort between the City of Bristol, Tennessee, our Tree City USA Board, and also a few other nonprofit groups, the Washington County Master Gardeners and the Southern Appalachian Plant Society. But what it is an all-day seminar and workshop. Starts early in the morning on a Saturday, which is tough for some people, but it goes from 8:30 in the morning until about 2 in the afternoon. And it's basically hands-on activities, lectures, workshops, on everything from tree care, maintenance, general biology, special topics, and we get speakers from all over to come do the seminars.
That's great. I was going to ask, who are some of the speakers or what are they highlighting?
Every year we try to have at least one speaker that travels to the event, and this year we're especially happy to have Diane Warwick. She's the State of Tennessee urban forester, and so she's going to be giving a talk on the importance of trees in the community, what we call the urban forest. That's going to be the subject of her talk.
Oh, I love that. And then will you get some hands-on experience too?
Yep, we've also got Kevin Sigmund, the Abingdon Town arborist, who will be coming in. And right after lunch, we feed you and then we get you outside if the weather's nice and get you moving. He'll be planting a tree and talking about the do's and the don'ts of proper planting and first-year maintenance.
Yeah, and how to take care of it.
That's right. There's a lot of bad information out there, and you see, unfortunately, you drive around town, you see where a lot of trees have been planted improperly or mulch is applied improperly, and this will be a great opportunity to learn the correct way to do those things.
That's great. So if you want to participate in this day, it is on March 14th.
That's right.
And how do they get in touch?
Yep. Pre-registration is required, and because we do feed everybody breakfast and lunch for the low price of $10 for the whole event. We do ask that pre-registration by Wednesday, March 11th is a must. So that way we can have space and food for everybody.
That's great. And how many people typically come to the event?
We've got the event capped at 50.
Okay.
And we only have about 9 spaces left.
Whoa, so you need to get on this.
While supplies last.
That's great. How exciting that it just seems to grow, and a great topic too.
That's right. We've been packing the house year after year.
Jeremy, it's because you're always so good at everything.
Oh, goodness. I don't know about that.
Well, thank you so much for being on today, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Dr. Martin Dodderwyk with me today. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we have got 2 great opportunities to hear speakers coming up in March. Tell us about those.
Well, the King Institute series continues through March and April. We have 2 events coming up in March that we're very excited about. One is not on our brochure. We've added it since the brochure went out, and it's because we have had a scholar traveling near us, and we were able to get her to come. Her name is Mariah Liston. Mariah went to King and graduated from King. She was going to do a PhD in classics at the University of Tennessee, and she went to UT and she met Dr. Bill Bass. And people are aware of Dr. Bass as the founder of the Body Farm, where people have donated their bodies to see how the body decays. Well, her interest was in anthropology, forensic anthropology, but ancient forensic anthropology. So she merged her interest in classics and the human body and ended up working on Greek burial sites, ancient Greek. So Mariah is coming back to the area to visit her father, and so she's going to come and do a talk for us on March the 16th. At 7 o'clock in the King Chapel. And her topic is going to be a leper's graveyard that they are currently excavating. They found an entire graveyard where the skeletal remains show that there are lepers there. And so we think that she thinks this is associated with the church, and the church was providing care for these people and maybe had even given them a sort of special status. Oh, wow. So she's going to talk about that dig and what she's discovered on March 16th. So we're excited to have her back. Her grandfather was the president of King.
Oh my goodness. And
many people remember RTL Liston. One of our dorms is named for him. Our main academic award is named for him. And so we have a strong connection there.
That'll be great. So definitely mark your calendars. And then we have another great talk coming up.
The following week, March 23rd, we have our Holocaust survivor. Now this has been an annual event at King for about 12 years. We've brought in somebody every year from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. The museum maintains a Survivor Speakers Bureau, people who live in the D.C. area and are willing to give their time to tell their stories. And so we've had this for a number of years. As the years go by, the speakers were younger and younger when these events happened. And this year's speaker was an infant. He was born in 1941, and during his infancy, his parents had to keep him safe during the Holocaust in Budapest, in Hungary. He then went on to grow up in Hungary, and he became an astrophysicist, and then he defected from Hungary in 1960 to come to the United States. His name is Peter Gorog, and Peter then spent a career in the U.S. working for NASA. He's worked on a number of different NASA projects. So he'll come and tell that story, and it's been a great honor to us to have these survivors every year, to give our students, to give the community a chance to hear these voices while we still have them. And we welcome school groups. We've had a lot of high schools take advantage of this and bring people in. Peter's presentation will be the same in the morning and the evening. So either one works. He'll be at 9:15 in the King Chapel on Monday the 23rd. And in the evening, he'll be at 7 o'clock at First Baptist Church.
That's great, and it is amazing, and it's definitely something that you want to see because, like we said, you know, bringing in he was an infant. It's pretty amazing.
We hope people will come on out to hear the Holocaust survivor, partly because we're working on cementing that into an annual event that's going to go on well beyond survivors, to include people who work in the arts, and historians, people who work in the Holocaust, because we see that as an important component of what we provide for our students as an annual part of our series.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you.
And thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.